All right, hello class. Welcome back. This is week 8, and this week we'll be looking at the role of globalism and economic inequality, and what role these two ideas may have in sparking future global conflicts. Economic inequality is a topic that has gotten a lot of news coverage in the United States over the last few years. I think this information or this idea really came to the forefront because of some of the comments that Bernie Sanders, who was a Democrat running for president in 2016, who lost to Hillary Clinton. One of the things that Bernie Sanders really stood for was closing the gap between the haves and the have-nots in America. Now, that's at a national level. At an international level, what happens when two neighboring countries enjoy different levels of economic my mind just went blank, of economic stability. Imagine two countries, one which is very wealthy, well-to-do, and while yes, there are haves and have-nots within that country, the overall national wealth or the GDP of that country is far, far greater than that of a neighbor. What impact could that type of inequality have? Is there a sense of jealousy that may arise? And if so, what are the theories behind those types of engagements? As we will see this week in some of our readings, this has been studied. Economics has been looked at very closely. Models have been drawn, and this is one of the reasons why the United States has gone to such a great extent to provide financial backing to various poor countries around the world. This week we'll be fortunate enough to have a special guest lecturer join us. Caroline Smith is an economist who works in Washington, D.C. for the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. And she'll be joining us this week in a special online presentation. She has agreed to speak to our class to answer your questions and provide us a short introduction to what her work does and some of the theories that are at the base of what she and this agency does. It's been argued that it's far cheaper, especially in this world in which all countries are interconnected by trade, by financial markets. It is far easier, less disruptive, to simply give poorer countries money than to risk them sparking some type of international conflict. So this week, like I said, we'll be fortunate to have Ms. Smith join us to share some of her specialty with us and answer your questions. The weekly response will be due this Sunday, but because we'll be having this midweek presentation, I've decided to forego the discussion board forum for this week. So I look forward to having you join us. The proceedings will be recorded, and so if you are, for whatever reason, unable to join us live, whether you're working or putting kids to bed, then you'll be able to watch our meeting afterwards and be able to respond to our weekly response, having the information that the rest of us who are there live will have. All right, as always, should you have any questions, please email me, brantellsworth@centralpenn.edu. This is week 8. Just a reminder that your second half of your conflict report, part 2, will be due at the end of week 10. So I would encourage you, if you have not yet, begin to look at that. Again, the web resources is full of important information that you can use to do that preliminary research. And if you want to know more about the conflict report, what type of questions you should be responding to, please go ahead and look at the assignment descriptions tab here and read more on conflict report number 2. All right, I look forward to seeing you guys at our special guest lecture.